everyone, I am Mrs. Metters and I am going to talk to you today about fine art at Meopham Sixth Form. So the fine art department comprises of me, Mrs. Metters, and Miss Hod. And the brilliant thing about our art department is that the pair of us have a wide variety of skills and interests. So my particular interest and what I love to do in my own practice is painting and photography. Sometimes together, sometimes not. And I know that Miss Hod really loves sculpture, in particular clay. So there's lots of different skill sets that we can teach you, but also we've got a wide knowledge base. So whatever you want to explore, we can help you do that, which is, I think, a really positive thing. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the course sort of overview, so what you'll get up to. So across the 2 years, you will produce at least 3 projects. The first one is a portfolio-based project, so it's an introductory project. It's all about building skills, refreshing and refining what you already know, and also building on it and introducing new skill sets to you. So one of the things that I've done quite recently and introduced to my Year 12s is silkscreen printing, which they'd never done before and now absolutely love. So I have a sneaky suspicion I might be doing a lot more of it in the coming weeks and months. Once you've completed that, you'll then do component 1, so a personal investigation project, which will be 60% of your final grade. I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail about these in one moment. And then you've also got component 2, which is your externally set assignment, which will start in the February of your year 13. So the component 1 is worth 60% of your final grade, and component 2 is worth 40% of your final grade. So component 1 is a personal investigation, and it pretty much is what it says on the box. It is you taking an idea, a theme. It could be an art movement, artist, photographer, issues or concerns, and you're exploring it. And you'll do that in 2 ways. So you'll create an essay that will explore your chosen theme, and alongside that essay, you will do a practical investigation. So the practical investigation is exploring and learning what you've, or practically exploring what you've learned in sort of your written component, and taking that project forward and making those creative decisions. So they work in tandem, and you need both elements for component 1. Obviously, if you know where you start isn't necessarily where you end up, and that's part of a creative process which I particularly really love. Now, the essay isn't as scary as it sounds. Over the years, we've had a wide variety of different topics. So people have explored words, they've explored everyday situations, colour, the relationship between an artist and where they create their work. We've explored multiple imagery, we've explored loads of different things. And it's all about what you find interesting and what you want to develop as well, because it's quite a long project in terms of it. So it's something that has a journey to it, and it's your creative experimentation and practice, which is really exciting. Your ESA, your externally set assignment, you have a choice of starting points and you'll respond to that over a preparatory period. And that's usually from April through till the beginning of May. And then at the end of that, you'll have a period of sustained focus, not an exam, a period of sustained focus, which will be 15 hours. So it sounds a really long time, but in reality, it's not. And in that time, you create a final piece for your project. So you have your starting point, you develop your project, and then in that period of sustained focus, you will create a final piece. And that is the A-level. So how you will be assessed is very similar to how you'll have been assessed at GCSE, or even in part we assess very similarly at lower school. So there are 4 assessment objectives. It's about how you develop a project, so how you use language, how you use contextual references, and how you can demonstrate analytical and critical understanding. You've then got AO2, which is all about how you explore and experiment with materials, how you can review and refine your ideas. You've got AO3, which is how you record your ideas. So that's making sure that that's all about your drawing and putting everything down on paper, which you're thinking, and just making sure that you're reflecting on your practice. And AO4 is all about creating that personal response and making sure that you're making connections between visual and other elements. So it's a very broad assessment, basically. So your projects will be assessed as a whole. because it's a journey, and the assessment objectives recognise that. So in the A level, we explore a whole range of different materials. So that's very much part of the introductory project. So we go through the traditional fine art drawings, using traditional sort of materials. We also do a lot of painting, printmaking we introduce. So that's your traditional printmaking, so things that you've done previously, and then introducing things like silkscreen, etching, and things like that. We've got basic photography, so digital as well as darkroom. We've got a darkroom which we like to use. There are a whole range of different things that you can explore, and I think, as I said previously, it's about being able to sort of say, I want to try this. And the beautiful thing about our department is the fact that more often than not, we kind of work out how you can do that, and it becomes a conversation, which I think is really important, especially as new artists or emerging artists. So you can see, I've just put some examples on the board for you of things that people have done previously. You've got some darkroom work, a painting, a hanging sculpture, which is just beautiful when you see light through it. The real thing's hanging in my classroom. Please feel free to come have a look. And there's also an etching that's then been embroidered over. So there's lots of mixed media work as well. Again, more mixed media work. There's a photography cube where you can shine light through it and see different elements and different landscapes. You've got sort of architectural drawings, paintings, and then that was an installation which was pretty cool because it was all in dark, and then you had this sort of painted stained window that sort of lit up on a wall. There are so many reasons why fine art is a topic or a subject that you should choose. Now, if you're interested of any of the jobs, any of the careers on the board on my screen, art is something that you should definitely consider, because you need, for most of these jobs, to take them further, you're going to need to build a portfolio, and having a fine art A level helps you and builds that portfolio, and it begins that stepping stone to your university, your apprenticeship, whatever it is that you want to move on to. I've had quite a few conversations over the last few weeks, people who want to go into animation, into photography, and they haven't chosen to do fine art, and they're like, Miss, how do I do a portfolio? Can you help me? And by doing the A level, you're building that portfolio as you go. So it's a really positive thing to do. And for every job that is on my board, there are loads more associated with them. There are so many people in the creative industries. So I'm sure you'll have seen sort of these statistics before. I have used them. So 3.12 million jobs were in the creative industries in the UK in 2017. So 1 in 11 jobs were in the creative sector, 1 in 8 businesses, and in just 2017 alone, £101.5 billion was the value of the creative industries. Now, I know at the moment that sort of jobs are a little bit not quite all there, but there will always be a creative industry. There'll always be somebody that needs adverts designed, that wants a buildings designed if you want to go into architecture. So there is jobs out there, and the creative jobs are just brilliant. And I can't, well, I'm an art teacher, so I will really promote them. So, reasons to study fine art. You want to. Brilliant reason. You need to build a portfolio of work for what you want to move on to, and you need it for what you want to do after sixth form. They're 3 very good reasons, but there are other reasons to consider fine art. It's a subject of multiple skills, so it's not just colouring in, for instance. You are building skills in research, in analysis, project-based working, independent working, creative solutions. Everything that you do within your fine art A level will apply itself to other jobs, other skills, other subjects. It's a broad subject that has a whole variety of different things coming into it. It's very cross-curricular. We talk about science, we talk about English, we talk about history. Not usually geography, but sometimes, you never know. Maths comes into it quite a lot. So it's a very broad subject, and it's something that is really good that you can then, when you're applying to university, you can say, I studied art and this is what I've learned. I've learned this from this subject. And also, you know, it shows other interests. So it's all well and good applying to university, doing psychology with, you know, subjects all associated with psychology, but that doesn't show the university what type of person you are or what your other interests are. And actually, most universities are now interested in the whole human being, not just the subjects, because there are so many people wanting to go. You need things that make you stand out. It's also a really good balanced subject. I've had a lot of students in the past that have taken sort of content heavy subjects. I'm not going to name names, who have enjoyed art as at that balance. So you've got the content, and then you've got a subject that they can come, they can do the work, and they know that even before they walk into the exam, they've achieved at least 60% of their final grade, because that's what art is. And it's cathartic release as well. It's that subject where you can go to and you can just get on and you can make something. And art's really good for your well-being. So just that one's a good one as well. And I do really good trips. We run trips to Tate Modern, to various London galleries. So last year I took the Year 13 to the National Gallery and the Portrait Gallery. I've previously taken them to Tate Britain. Yeah, lots of things in the pipe work, all things considered. So we do loads of different things. So the enrichment's really good for it as well. So just as what's the word? I'm losing my thought process. Overview, there we go. A recap, even better. So Year 12 is in the introductory portfolio. Year 13, component 1 is 60%, that's your personal investigation. Component 2 is 40% and your externally set assignment. If you have got any questions about anything you've heard or anything I've said, or you wanted to have a look at any work that's previously been done, please get in contact with me. I'm on the top floor, I'm Art 2, or you can email me. My email address is just here. Alternatively, you could find me in Sixth Form or email Sixth Form leaders. Okay, I hope you found this interesting and I haven't gone on too long. Have a lovely rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you next year.